The Strongman season is hotting up and we are just weeks away from the Arnold Strongman Classic. The athletes are deep into their preparation and we've seen some incredible lifts going on. Starting off with this 470 kilo deadlift from Thor Bjornsson. So we've seen some incredible lifts.
We have.
Obviously, a few weeks ago we saw Thor pull 455 kilos. A great lift nonetheless, but it didn't look like he had the 501, 505, whatever he ends up going for in him. However, in typical Thor fashion, a few weeks later he's looking even stronger and he pulled this 470 kilos, which you can clearly see move better than the 455 a few weeks back.
Yeah, and speaking to, I'm believing. I am totally on board this hype train. I think he's going to do it. Talking to him a couple of weeks ago, he said he knows how to peak. He's confident it's going to come. And now looking at this as well, it's hard to deny. It's getting exciting, isn't it?
I have a theory.
Go on.
I think Thor doesn't believe he can win the whole show.
So
just because of the behind the neck jerk than anything.
Okay.
Looking at the prep on that, he's doing very well. I think he's hit 210 in training.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Pretty solid, but there are a number of guys doing more than that.
Yeah.
And I think at the moment, it's $80,000 for the winner of the whole show, $100,000 for this deadlift. And obviously he was preparing for the deadlift before this.
Yeah.
He's had to change things up a little bit. Obviously at the Arnold's there is no deadlift suit, no figure of eight straps. Mm-hmm. So rule change is a little bit different. And when I saw that 450, I was kind of thinking, I can't see it.
No.
But in typical Thor fashion, he's kind of making a believer of me now. And I want to apologise to Thor because
you should.
I should know better. I've seen Thor many times about 6 weeks out not looking his absolute best. And then it gets to a month out, 3 weeks out, he starts to put the burners on. And he's just got this incredible ability to get strong. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a very hard-working athlete. He's got a great team around him, but he is a genetic freak as well. It's hard when you get an average person say, I want to make as much progress as Thor. Thor is a genetic freak. That's the reason he's so good, as well as the hard work that he puts in and the determination. But yes, this 470 has got us believing. I still think that he needs a little bit more power, but knowing Thor, he's just going to keep pushing and rising that level. He's not going to miss a meal. He's going to make sure he gets everything right. And I do think it's possible we see this elephant bar record go over the 501 and him walk away with the $100,000 bonus.
I'd love to see it.
So as well as Thor, we've seen some other great lifts. Now, just yesterday on Instagram, Evan Singleton posting this 250 kilo behind the neck. I don't even want to call it a jerk. It was a behind the neck, some kind of press. Technically, not the best, but my goodness, it was powerful. And the aggression that we saw from Evan Singleton. He does not want to be left out of the equation when it comes to the winners of these shows. Now, to be fair to everyone, he didn't have the best year last year other than a really good performance at World's Strongest Man, but he is a very dangerous athlete and he looks to be coming in extremely strong to the Arnolds this year.
And very aggressive. I love it. I love it. His poor phone.
So as well as Evan's 250 kilos, the current two-time champion Mitch Hooper has recently hit 240 kilos. We've had Lucas Hatton doing a triple with 500 pounds, 227.5 kilos, and he, I would say, technically looks the best out of all the men I've seen doing this lift.
Yeah, he's just got this uncanny way of making it look so effortless, hasn't he?
But that's due to his technique.
Yeah.
And, I think we're going to have a few guys going to be pretty close in this event. I think a number of the athletes will be around 220 plus.
Yeah.
And, we may see 250, maybe even 260 go.
I would love to see what Tom's doing.
Tom's keeping quiet, and we saw from Luke Stoltman at Britain's Strongest Man, he'd been training hard for Brits. Obviously, the Arnold's completely different show, but Tom has actually got good pedigree in this event.
Yeah, he won it.
It'll be interesting to see what he's doing.
No, he didn't win it, did he?
Alexi won it, but he was certainly up there. Yeah, I think he hit 240.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So going to be interesting to see how he is coming into this. But there's going to be some big lifts with this one. I know from coaching Bobby Thompson, it's starting to click with him now in the behind the neck press. He's focusing more on a power jerk type movement. At first, wasn't a natural movement for him. It's a very interesting event because you can be great at log lift, but really not so good in an event like this. It's a bit more technical,
or vice versa.
Absolutely.
So obviously this isn't everyone's training. This isn't like an exhaustive list, but a couple of people that have really made us say wow, and one of them is Inez Carrasquillo. So starting with this 350 pound for two. Now talking to her, she wants this pushed to about the 400 pound mark. I don't know that anyone can push it that high with her. I don't think she'd need to go that high, but I'm excited to see what she can do.
I'm excited to see what she can do. She's got another one with very, very good technique on the overhead events, and she's not even doing it from behind the neck.
No, she's not. No,
she's doing more of a jerk movement. Looks very, very powerful. I really see her as the very heavy favourite when it comes to this event on the women's side of the competition.
Yeah, and another event I see her doing very, very well at is the stone to shoulder. Look at this 300 pound. Look at this extension, Laze. I would snap like a twig.
This is, I think this is an extremely challenging event. I don't think we're going to see many athletes get this stone to the shoulder.
Because what we need to remember as well, they're going to be using brand new stones, and a lot of people, well, pretty much everyone in training stones have had tacky on them at some point, haven't they?
Even just having that residual tacky on there will make it easier than the brand new stones. And I do hope we see this stone go up in competition, but it's going to be a challenge. Remember, it's the last event as well in the competition. I think whoever can get this stone up deserves to win this contest. There are two stones that the athletes get to choose from. There's the lighter one, but the heavier stone, there's only a small number of athletes that I think have even a chance at it. Inez being one of them. Great extension, as you say. She's keeping those arms long, not letting the elbows bend. A lot of wrist and hand strength to kind of squeeze into that stone, particularly with the no tacky. That's going to be really, really important. But that's going to be a very challenging event, and Inez is looking very, very good at it.
So Sam Bellevue is also looking very, very snappy on this event. Here she's pressing 330 pound, and she is a weight class athlete.
Well, I've got to say, she's looking the best I've ever seen her.
Yeah, she
extremely
is.
powerful. She's coming into this contest the strongest she's ever been. And she wants to make sure her name is spoken about. She wants to come in as a contender.
And her log's looking better than ever as well. She did a double for 122 kilos. So that's just 3 kilos shy of the heavier American log that the women will do on that trump log.
And log in the past has never been her best event. Very good at the dumbbell, really good on the behind the neck jerk, but log has been a weakness. So good to see that progress on that event.
Yeah. And lots of people posting lots of good things. Rebecca Roberts' log looking stronger than ever. The Texas boys were doing frame just shy of competition weight, up a hill, looking speedy, grip holding nicely. I'm getting very excited now.
It's one of the major shows. Since 2002, the Arnold's has been one of the 2 major shows. Now we tend to have 4 major shows, but the Arnold's is always exciting. I know lots of people are looking forward to getting to Columbus to watch it. We certainly are. It's going to be an epic battle in both the men's and the women's contest.
So a couple of other announcements have come out, mostly lineup announcements. So we've got the final 3 athletes for this year's Europe's Strongest Man. Luke Stoltman and Luke Richardson both confirmed. Now we happen to know that they were already invited before Britain's Strongest Man. I guess both of them wanted to sort of wait until after that competition.
Both former champions of Europe's Strongest Man as well.
Yeah. And also Andrew Flynn has been added to that lineup. So he just recently placed 3rd at Britain's Strongest Man. You pointed out he's done basically the whole qualification.
He's done the perfect qualification route. He did the England's qualifier, or the qualifier to get to England.
Yeah.
Then he did England's Strongest Man, placed top 3 in that, went to Britain's Strongest Man, top 3 in that. He's qualified for Europe's and World's Strongest Man. So what a year it's been for Andrew Flynn.
And we're only a month too.
Yes, I mean, these will be a step up in standard for him. But certainly another great learning curve. And every time he stepped up, he's delivered. So looking forward to seeing how he does.
But this is now, I think, a really exciting lineup. Oh my God, I hope it holds together. Do you want to quickly run through it?
So very quickly, we've got the 2-time Europe's Strongest Man and reigning champion Luke Stoltman. Former champion Pavlo Kordiaka, another former champion in Alexei Novikov, a man that it's incredible to say has never won Europe's Strongest Man in Mateusz Kiliashkovsky. I am excited to see him in this contest. The return of Pavlo Nekonechny. He's won a Giant's Life before, obviously coming back from severe injury. Cannot wait to see what kind of shape Pavlo comes in at.
Praise be.
Again, a former champion, the 2020 Europe's Strongest Man winner, Luke Richardson. Ivar Schmaustelus taking part, the second place finisher at Europe's Strongest Man last year. Paro Dwyer, 5-time Ireland's Strongest Man's taking part. Rauno Heinle, the 3-time World Deadlift Champion, will be competing. Andre Foitu, the junior log lift world record holder, his training's been looking epic recently.
Great.
Can't wait to see what shape he's in. Nicholas Camby, the 2023 Italy's Strongest Man. And then finally, as we mentioned, Andy Flynn, who just placed third at Britain's Strongest Man.
So 4 former champions. That must be a record for Europe's Strongest Man.
We'd have to double check, but yeah, certainly that's a lot of champions to be taking part in the competition. It's a good mix of countries. I mean, there's a lot of Ukrainians and a few Brits, but it's a good mix. There's still the kind of question mark of should we have some other guys from different countries. I'd like to see maybe a few extras doing Europe's Strongest Man.
Yeah,
but
just chucking a few more.
That said, it's a fantastic lineup, and I'm excited to watch this one. Really hard to predict early on. I mean,
the events haven't been released yet.
People kind of like favour towards Kiliashkovsky, but we know he's got the deadlift issue. But that is a strong lineup, and there could be so many chopping and changing with events. As you said, once we know the event, it's going to be easier to predict, but Strongman is never easy, and it's not that far away from World's Strongest Man, so the athletes will be focused on 2 big shows at the same time.
So finally, the Strongest Man on Earth has announced its first 3 confirmed athletes as well. So they are Mitchell Hooper, Lucas Hatton and Trey Mitchell. So they were 1st, 2nd and 4th place last year. Now I know some people are like, what about Thor? My theory is that Thor is just not confirming competitions this far out. I imagine he's going to want to see how the Arnold's goes and take it one competition at a time. It's quite far away still, isn't it?
Yeah, Thor has been, pretty selective about shows, and he did compete quite regularly last year, so I wouldn't be surprised at all to see his name added to this list.
Yeah.
We have 16 athletes at the Strongest Man on Earth. They've announced 3. Yeah. There is lots of room and excitement still to come with that show, but yes, it's great to see the 3 names that have been added. I'm sure we're going to see lots more added to that very, very soon.
Cool. I do believe we're all caught up on the news then.
There we go, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know what you think about some of these lifts. Let us know the other athletes you're looking forward to seeing at the Arnold Strongman and Strongwoman Classic. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys next time.